Miller time.
Still cheesy.
It's very cheesy. It's fine though. It's Miller. Second little training session, and we've already seen a big improvement on his leash walking. He's pretty happy. He knows to follow and stay close. Forgot to sit though. So we're gonna work on that. He came out the gate hot to trot. Like he was excited. He knew what we were doing. So his enthusiasm level is through the roof right now. He's causing foam from how much he's drooling. All right, fix his side right there. Just do a quick change in direction to keep him on my left. Knowing how excited he is and he is distracted, I gotta try to help him get it right as much as I can.
This guy's really starting to enjoy training. Like, he's moved into the house and like he sees you pick up a leash now and he immediately gets excited.
It's my turn.
Yeah, oh my God, we're gonna go do something.
And when we get down to the driveway, last training session, I don't think we showed much of it, but when we get to the end of the driveway, he starts getting a little overwhelmed, a little worried. So I kind of wanted to work him down there a little more and just see if I can maintain some focus. And you can see his excitement level kind of drops when we get down there. So I think next session we'll be spending a lot of time in, I guess, not just my driveway, kind of move the classroom a bit.
Yeah, I might get him out on the street and expand his horizons some.
He caught himself there, but oops, he's on the wrong side. Okay, we'll fix it. A little less chaotic now, so you'll see me kind of manipulating the leash more than I do myself to fix him. There we go. Loves to run. Thinks it's cool. Such a happy guy. Always happy. He's so happy. He's one of those dogs that, like, you think you might need to amputate his tail.
If you guys notice, we're getting a little bit more engagement out of him too. So there he was sitting and like making really good eye contact, paying really good attention to Desi there as he is there.
And he fixes himself. Good boy. He's just really, really fun to work with. So put him in a sit. Lost his thought for a minute, thought I was going to call him or he needed to be near me, and just kind of remind him, I did tell you to sit, buddy.
He doesn't understand all the rules yet, but that's what training is for. We're going to show him all the rules. And I do love his enthusiasm, though. Like, he doesn't understand the rules, but he is here for it. He's definitely trying.
Made it all the way around him, too, and he didn't get up when I walked past him. Usually when you walk behind him, they get up and spin around. So he collected himself well enough on that and said, I think I remember this. He's like, I gotta shake all this energy off. Shake, shake, shake. He can get himself really, really worked up too. He doesn't really have much of a cap on his excitement level. So we're hoping that some of this duration stuff, holding a sit, holding it down, which we're not that great at yet, but kind of hoping that helps him learn to just control his own throttle a little bit when there's no one giving him direction. So if we can give him enough direction enough times, hopefully he'll start figuring out how to manage it on his own.
Being nosy. Gotta check out the camera guy.
Which is a cool distraction because he really, Jeremy's by the camera. He loves Jeremy so much. So let him get nosy with Jeremy and then try to call him to me and see if he comes. And he did pretty good. He's not outstanding at dividing his attention, but he sure does try. He tries so hard.
Whoever he's closest to is who he's paying attention to.
Yeah, pretty much. You got something for me to do? I'm here to do it. So here it's just a little bit of free. Let him get nosy with stuff. Call him to me. Little leash tugs. Hey dude, I'm the one that called you.
Love the food drive. He's definitely a food hound.
Yeah, you'd think that he never had a meal in his life. So his downs have come a long way too. Having to help him a little bit there. Just kind of trying to rock his weight back so he'll fold that booty. But he catches on real quick and he starts actually going real smooth. It looks really nice.
Yeah, so if you guys watched the first video, like it was a struggle to get him to lay down.
But still not going all the way down.
He kind of had a few days off and thought about it, and we let it kind of marinate for a little while, and now he's much better.
Yeah, he had some rainy days there to think about his lessons. There we go, kind of. He has that hover butt.
Yeah, he doesn't like putting his butt all the way down. He kind of, his tail was kind of bent up under him, so he's kind of clumsy with his tail.
He'll figure it out though. The more he does it, and kind of the more muscle memory he starts to build, it'll just be a very natural thing for him, and I think he'll just flop right down like any other dog, excited as can be. He says, but if I'm on the ground, I can't get the food. So I check out on him a little bit, see what he decides to do here. Let's try her down again. I can't possibly bend my elbows though.
I'm gonna turn my head upside down, but I'm not gonna bend my elbows.
Which way are you trying to get me to move, lady? But he does. He starts going real smooth, and he's like, "Oh, I've got it figured out now." And even like as uncomfortable as he makes himself, he's still wagging. And he's like, "Oh, this is kind of weird, but I like it."
Definitely all about the food. Nice attention there. Like he's really learning to pay attention to you.
He loves engagement too. If you're excited over him, he thinks the world is just amazing. It's just the greatest day. So that one he folded down real quick, real nice. Took a second, but he got it. And that's what training is. Hundreds of repetitions of the same thing. Just over and over and over and over, and it gets smoother and smoother, and then eventually they're not even thinking twice. They hear the word, I don't even know if it registers they heard the word, they just do it.
Yep, going back to a lot of repetitions to really make it smooth, and then once it's smooth, it's fast. Slow is smooth and smooth is fast.
And well, here's where I lose his engagement.
You say dumb, I
Is this
say
when the
good.
duck's coming over?
Yeah, so I broke his concentration on the duck. I didn't know what he was gonna do. Fact of the matter is I am talking to you, bud, so please pay attention. So a quick break in his concentration, drag him over this way. Well, not drag him, he did walk with me. And then at a distance, try to see if I can get a little more out of him. And there is the culprit.
There's the
distraction.
dastardly duck.
That was a big duck. So, we'll just share our training space with the duck.
Yeah.
No big deal.
But it's a good distraction. The neighbor's duck wanders over, and there you go. Instant distraction, instant training opportunity.
He says he would like it to be a big deal.
And now I'm really struggling to get engagement out of him. He's like, "What? There's a duck. Did you know there's a duck?" So I worked him at a distance for a little bit. Got him kind of just over the fact that there's a duck over there. It's on the corner of the house there, the little white blob. And then, okay, let's do some leash 101 and see if you can pay attention to me with that duck over there. And he's kind of just hanging out watching us train the dog. He's a pretty brave duck. So after a little bit of working, just a little work around duck and, hey, I need you paying attention, I got my guy back, and he's back here for it.
I think the duck was trying to weasel in on the dog treats.
Probably. A little distracted, broke his sit. This was like the most like perfect storm of a day. All the distractions fell on one time.
Yeah, I think later on in the video we see like the mail truck come by and somebody walking up the driveway, and
I think they all planned it out. Hey, they're gonna train the dog. Let's all go over there and mess it up.
yeah.
He's definitely figured out I should look up at the lead. Okay, duck, it's fine. We can be buddies.
He was very interested in the duck, but not not trying to get at the duck. He was just like, oh my gosh, what is that thing? I've never seen one before.
Yeah, I didn't feel like he would be. I mean, I guess
Very
if it squawked
curious.
and ran, he might try to chase it, but he didn't act like he wanted to eat it. But it's cool. I got him back fairly easily, and he got to experience something he'd not really experienced before, I don't think. I would imagine not. And so we just use it as a moment to work through stuff and remind him how valuable the humans can be.
It takes talent. I'm not a Neanderthal, I'm talented.
It's a little more repetition on down because I was pretty happy with how smooth he was getting. But the duck.
Until the duck came along.
Still foaming at the mouth like he's rabid and starved. What's really cool too is, so there I'm just starting to add a little bit of leash pressure to his down. I want to show him, sometimes you're going to start doing this without food, but if I just start yanking him down to the ground and not give him a reason to go, he's going to fight me. So ideally we want to get them off needing food to do everything. So I want to start showing him what it means when I pull down, and see right there, he kind of fought me a little. He not fought me, but he's pulling against me. So I just bring in the treats and show him, we've done this a few times. Still means the same thing, and lure him through it. So he can start to figure out,
I'm a rabbit too.
don't fight the leash, move with it.
So just overlaying leash pressure with treats. So he's not going to do it with just leash pressure, so we still got to use treats. The leash pressure is there just to kind of help him figure out that, hey, it's not really an option for you not to do it.
But I don't want it to be a fight either.
Right.
So here we are, we kind of get a little bit of a standstill, and he's grabbing my arm. I don't know why you're pulling that. Let me show you. Follow the food, bro. There we go. There was with no treat. Good job. Super good job. Wait, come back from my belly rub. So what I like too is that duck's still sitting over there or waddling around somewhere. And look how loose my leash is. I'm not holding on to him for dear life.
Down that
And
way
he's
and still
staying.
back this way.
He's done with me now. He was staying engaged. It's like, wait, that feels good. I'm gonna stay
On the
here.
lighting's better.
Back scratches on the black
Hold
top.
on, lady. I'm doing my happy dance. My happy dance roll.
Okay, I'm done.
Hot Mess Express.
You don't get stuck.
But it's good. You can kind of see from a dog that used to pull and jerk you around, and he's like, I should stay kind of close.
So here we are. We're going to see how he does with me, and he's pretty engaged with whatever's going on down there towards
I think
the
it's
end
the-
of
it's the
drive.
duck.
The duck, yeah.
The duck.
Of course, the dastardly duck. So So there I'm just kind of waiting. I'm seeing what he's going to do. He's really curious with the duck, and I was able to kind of say his name and get him back to me. He's still kind of glancing back, looking at the duck. And that's what I want. I want him kind of turning around, facing me. And yeah, you know the duck's back there, but good job ignoring the duck because I really want you to focus on me. Here I'm just kind of tossing treats to him, trying to get that engagement. Every time he looks up at me, I'm tossing him a treat. So right now I'm not super focused on the obedience. I'm just trying to get him used to paying attention to the human when the duck's around. One of the biggest challenges I think that a lot of people have with getting their dogs doing anything obedience related is you got to get them paying attention to you first. Like you're not gonna teach your dog anything if you're not paying attention to them. So
Yeah, and it's important. I mean, you hear a lot of trainers talk about it, and it's important for them to view you as exciting as whatever it is that they're doing, or you're not gonna get anywhere. You're never going to have their focus, their attention. So we bring in food, we cheer them on, we encourage, we do all those things to just be like, yeah, I'm here too, and I'm trying to party, let's go. So we're just kind of pulling their attention off of things that they would otherwise maybe want to go, be interested in, explore, whatever.
To be chased.
So he's starting to kind of calm down a little bit about the duck. The duck has meandered off towards the front of the house again, and now it's not so much of a distraction for him, so I think now we're going to start working on a little bit of some stuff that he already knows, his sits, and still some engagement. I reward him for looking at me.
He's Grandpa.
With the duck stupid waddling around.
Yeah.
Hey, duck, we can be buddies.
There we go.
He doesn't know what to think about the duck yet.
So it's good when you have a dog that's not like overly excited about distractions where they're trying to like drag you over to them. He's very curious about the duck, but he's not so excited about it that he's dragging me trying to get to the duck.
And it helps that he's already had a little bit of leash work, so
Yeah.
he kind of already knows it's beneficial to stay close. And that's, I think a lot of people skip that step and they just take their dog out, and their dog doesn't even know how to walk on a leash yet, so of course they're going to get drug everywhere. Like, you kind of want to explain to them how leashes work and make it important for them to be close to you before you introduce a ton of distractions, or you're just going to lose.
So there we're just working on a recall. I stayed pretty close, just out to the end of the leash and then call him to me.
Don't want to be free.
I like to do everything kind of in baby steps, right? So I'm not putting him in a sit and trying to get 50 feet away from him and then recall him to me. I want to stay nice and close. If I can't get him to come to me from 6 feet away, then I'm really going to struggle to get him to come to me from like 30 or 40 or 50 feet away.
And this is a prime example of Miller thinks everybody is here to say hello to him.
Yeah, so there he's like, hey, male lady, what's going on? You want to come feed me treats, right?
Tails wagging. That's my dad at the end of the driveway. Everyone knows him as Grandpa.
Hey, Miller,
Miller's
where are you going?
Miller's like, Grandpa, he must be here to see me. Oh, and Grandpa drinks Miller. And I think Grandpa has a Miller in his hand.
Grandpa, it's Miller time.
Dad's a cat man, though. Sorry, buddy.
Yeah.
But he gets excited to see people. He thinks everybody is a friend. I love so much about this guy.
So much enthusiasm. Here I'm starting to spit treats out of my mouth every time he looks up at me. It's a lot of trainers used to do that, and it's a very effective way to get the dog kind of looking at your face, making good eye contact. And you can cut up cheese sticks or pieces of steak or whatever into little tiny bite-sized pieces and just pack them in your mouth, and then every time the dog looks at you, you just spit one out if they can catch it.
He's slick.
And that's great too. Like in the first video, we talked about how Miller's constantly trying to weasel things out of our hands. He was pretty chompy.
Yeah.
So when you have a dog that's like that fixated on your hands that deliver the food, it's a really good method to show them, don't fix it on my hands because you just don't know where it's coming from.
They were just rocking a few downs. It's still not super pretty, but he is definitely getting an A for effort. It's a whole lot smoother than it was last time.
It'll get better.
Yeah.
For sure. It's already made huge progress.
Yeah. And I mean, at the end of the day, that's all we look for is progress.
Yeah, we can't expect perfection on day one. Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither is Miller.
Yep. Creaky chair.
It's okay. I think breakfast was making noise in this crate. Everybody can enjoy our background music. A little bit more recall. He's really, really getting excited about recall. I like that.
Yeah.
Got himself a drink of water, getting back to work.
So now I'm starting to add a little bit of speed and a little bit more distance on the recall by just kind of walking backwards as he's coming towards me. So I want him to know that when I say come in the beginning, yeah, you only have to come 6 feet. But as we progress, it's going to be much, much longer. And you still kind of have to come to me. We make it fun though. I back up and I try to get him to feel like he's chasing me. I try to make it a game.
Yeah, and the more excited and more movement you add to it, the more excited the dog usually gets once they understand the concept. And that's your real foundation in building in a really speedy, happy recall, is making it speedy and happy 6 feet away.
Here I'm just doing little short distance heel work. So, we work on what needs to be worked on, and he, as far as healing goes, he's still struggling, I feel like, a little bit with that automatic sit, right? He hasn't quite figured out yet that when we stop, he's supposed to sit. So instead of walking, the entire driveway and then doing one stop, I break it down. I'm walking, 5 or 6 feet and stopping. Walk 5 or 6 feet and stop. That way we get more repetitions of the stopping and that automatic sit in. So we're working on what needs to be worked on. Here I'm just tossing food off into the grass. I'm getting him using his nose, getting him sniffing around, looking for treats. A lot of people will go out and buy like snuffle mats and stuff like that, which is awesome if you want to work your dog inside on using their nose, but I'm cheap. I'll just take a dog outside and throw a handful of treats in the grass and let them rummage through the grass looking for it.
Well, there's way more smells than food and fabric, so it's pretty cool. And it's good for the dog. Let him decompress a little bit.
Yeah.
Let him have some fun. Let him forage. That's a Miller.
All right.